futuremusic.com layout track.
10 greatest warriors in history has ever seen. There have been many great individuals in various fields of human endeavor throughout history, from science to the arts, philosophy to politics, business to technology, but none of these greats has spilled more blood than the greatest warriors in history. 10. Spartacus. Undoubtedly the most famous and skilled gladiator who ever lived was Spartacus. Along with other gladiators, he became a slave leader in the Third Servile War. He led a major slave uprising against the Roman Republic. No other individual terrorized the powerful republic the way he did. 9. Xiahou. Xiahou offered his services as military general to warlord Cao Cao in the late Eastern Han Dynasty and became a legend when during a battle he was hit by a stray arrow and lost his left eye. In front of his amazed soldiers and enemies alike, he pulled out the arrow and swallowed his own eyeball. Following this incident, enemy armies across China were afflicted by fear of blind Xiahou, the one-eyed warrior. 8. Hannibal Barca. Hannibal was born in 247 BC, in Carthage, the capital of what is now Tunisia, during a period when the kingdom had just lost a long important war with Rome and with it many territories. But Hannibal was meant to reconquer many of these lands once he became an adult. It is believed that Hannibal was one of the greatest generals and military leaders of the ancient world and a brilliant strategist, who developed tactics of outflanking and surrounding the enemy with the combined forces of infantry and cavalry. His wars with the Roman Empire were some of the most epic of all antiquity. 7. Phihus of Epirus. Phihus of Epirus was king of the Greek Molossians, and the one who gave the Romans hell. He was the first and only threat to Rome during its prime at the beginning of the empire. Actually, he was the only man who kept beating the Roman legions. 6. Richard the Lionheart. Richard was king of England, later known as the Lionheart, and famous for his exploits in the Third Crusade, although during his 10-year reign he spent only 6 months in England. He is described as an extremely skilled warrior who showed no mercy to his enemies, and his most famous attribute was his courage and daring. They didn't call him Lionheart for nothing. 5. Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi was a skillful Japanese swordsman and an invincible ronin, a samurai without a lord or master. He became a legend mainly because of his remarkable swordsmanship in numerous duels from the age of 13. He was the founder of the Hyoho Nitten Ichi Ryu or Nitten Ryu style of swordsmanship. Late in his life, after he had perfected his two swords fighting style, he ascended a mountain and wrote the definitive treatise on the Zen of decapitation, which he titled A Book of Five Rings. Many historians and experts consider him the greatest swordsman who ever lived. 4. Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar is arguably the most famous and successful Roman statesman and general in history, and was the one who led the Rome's army in numerous victorious battles that expanded its territory. Further, he wrote about his military adventures, from which we learn about his genius and bravery on the battlefield. 3. Leonidas of Sparta. Leonidas I was one of the 2 kings of Sparta during the Greco-Persian Wars and the leader of one of the most ferocious military units in history, the 300 Spartan hoplites. He's remembered best for his unmatched boldness and fearless character, and rumor has it that during the end of the Battle of Thermopylae he remained alone fighting against hundreds of thousands of Persian soldiers before he was killed. 2. Genghis Khan. The Mongol destroyer, as he's known, set in motion the conquest of a quarter of the world's population and is widely considered one of the greatest vanquishers of all time. His people believed that he was the greatest man of all time and that he was sent from heaven, which is the reason why he was known as the Holy Warrior. 1. Alexander the Great. Though he died at age 33, the famous Greek king managed to conquer most of the then known world, and this is the reason why most historians consider him the greatest general who ever lived. He also fought on the front lines of every battle, unlike many other kings who just watched their troops fighting. He remained undefeated and took over every major kingdom of his day, such as Persia, India, and Egypt, among others, and he was the first king to spread Greek, and thus Western, civilization to other parts of the world. Thanks for watching and please subscribe to channel.